Good day! Let's conquer the new normal of teaching through flexible learning. First, we need to discuss what is flexible learning. Then, what are the types of learning delivery? Before we move on to flexible learning, we need to know what is flexibility. So flexibility is defined as the offering choices in the educational environment as well as customizing a given course to meet the needs of individual learners. It is a learning in which specific factors such as content, time, space, mode, and pace are determined by the learner. It is a set of educational approaches and systems concerned with providing learners with increased choice, convenience, and personalization to suit their needs. According to the Philippine Commission on Higher Education Chairman, Dr. Prospero de Vera, flexible learning is a broader term that focuses on the design and delivery of programs, courses, and learning intervention that address learners' unique needs in terms of pace, place, process, and products of learning. Since we talk about policy, there are Philippine law related to information, communications technology, e-learning, and the use of electronic medium. First, we have the RA 8792, or what we call the E-Commerce Act or Electronic Commerce Act of 2000. So one of the example is that everything will be paperless. You can transact online using any electronic form. It is now legal. And then another example is that when you send email, it is considered as valid. You don't need to put an original signature or an actual signature. Then we have the RA, or what we call the Republic Act 8793, the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. Since we are now in flexible learning, we will be adapting also an electronic learning, or what we call the e-learning. So sometimes we use electronic materials or materials from online or from other sources. So in this law, we need to cite all the copyright materials or the original authors. Then we have the RA 10173, the Data Privacy Act of 2012. So it is now very important because we will be using all electronic form, making survey, getting all the data of the students. In this app, data privacy is important. So the data of the institution as well as the students are important to be secured. So let's move on to types of learning delivery. So first we have the blended learning. When we say blended learning, it is both a combination of modular and a face-to-face. Then we have the mobile learning. Mobile learning, also known as M-learning, it is a new way to access learning content using their mobile devices. It is possible to learn whenever and wherever you want as long as you have the modern mobile devices connected to the internet. Then we have the open and e-distance learning. So distance education practitioner in the Philippine Open University have coined the term open and distance e-learning, or what we call ODEL, to refer to the new forms of distance education, which are characterized by the convergence of an open learning philosophy, DE pedagogies, and e-learning technologies. So ODEL consists of three concepts of domain. First, they have the open, distance, and e-learning, each of which has its own definition and origin. Another is the e-learning, or what we call the electronic learning. It is an approach to administering education and training through the use of modern technology, such as the video conferencing, shared chat, and digital course materials make it possible for entire class to be held in a cloud rather than in a lecture hall. So flexibility can be found in an on-campus classroom learning, distance learning, open learning, independent learning, teleteaching, resource-based learning, computer-managed learning, computer-assisted learning, of course, the online learning, multimedia learning, and virtual learning.
A flexible learning environment. An integrated approach to flexible education is an environment which includes, where appropriate, choice in the time, including flexible entry and exit points at which study occur, the pace at which the learning proceeds, the place, both physical and virtual, in which study is conducted, the content that is studied, the learning style adopted by the learner, the form of assessment employed, the option to collaborate with others or to learn independently how teaching is staffed, and the mix of all the flexible learning environment at any given course or unit. These choices must be made within a framework which maintains sound and consistent academic standards. A useful approach to embedding flexibility is to consider, in relation to how and to what extent it is being integrated, in leveraging key dimensions of learning and teaching. And these are the following: learning experience design. This is about the design and development of productive learning so that each learner is able to make most of the learning opportunities they afford. The learner content engagement. It is about learners' engagement and interaction with the subject matters in which the suit individuals their styles and approaches to studying, its time, place, and pace. The learner-teacher engagement. It is about choices learners have in relation to mode and method of their engagement and interaction with their teachers and tutors. Fourth, the learner-learner engagement. This is about choices learners have in relation to the mode and method of their engagement and interaction with their peers in small and large groups, and in an offline and online educational settings. Fifth is the learner engagement with the learning environment. This is about adaptable access, interaction, and engagement with the learning environment, such as with mobile devices, Wi-Fi access, and innovative use of study pace. 6 is the learner engagement with assessment activities. This is about choices learners have in relation to the fulfillment of their assessment requirements. 7th is a learner engagement with feedback. This is about choices learners have in relation to access to feedback on their learning and assessment activities. 8. The learner engagement with the institution. This is about choices learners have in relation to their engagement with the services of the educational institution.